My journey took a strange turn when I was pregnant with my youngest, and I had a tumor that was growing alongside of her. It was a very stressful time, and the stress came with not knowing, and I just didn't have answers. That first experience made me a little leery of healthcare, because what I wanted to do, I wanted to have a healthcare provider that really was proactive. Then I came in contact with Dr. Brogdon. The first time I sat down and I met with her, I knew I was going to switch.
Katrina's first visit was like any other first patient visit, where I really just wanted to get to know her as a person, because that allows me to give her much more holistic care in the context of her life outside the four walls of my office.
So she asked me the question, tell me who you are. I had never had a doctor take that level of interest, and to the point that I was thinking, I didn't know how to answer the question, and I had to ask her. I said, what do you mean? I mean, she says, it's not a trick question. I just want to know who you are, what gives you joy, what makes you happy, how is your family?
I asked her about herself. I tried to understand more about the reasons she's ever seen a doctor in the past, her medical conditions, her medicines, her family history.
I knew at that moment that this doctor saw me, she wanted to hear me, she valued me, and she had a true, authentic desire to help me answer some of the questions that I had about my health that started with that tumor. I got 3 things. I have, some digestive issues as it relates to having the tumor. I have a herniated disc, and I have diabetes. And that conversation that we had, she was like, okay, all right, tell me about each of them. She didn't lump them all together. She said, I want to know about each of them. And I shared with her, and one thing she said, we want to make sure that we're optimizing your medicine. Really? What is that? Tell me what that means. Well, that means we want to make sure that the medication that you're taking is working the best for your body. And I said, okay. And she said, ultimately, we want to see how we can get it to a point where you're not all over the place. You're say almost in remission. And I said, I've never heard anything like that.
It is really important that my patient has full autonomy in their medical decisions. That's why we go through informed consent, even with the smallest things, like should you take Advil for your headache? It's so important that my patients understand why I'm making a recommendation, the possible side effects or the risks, and the benefits of that recommendation. And I leave it in their hands. I'm just a guide to help them make the best decision for their body.
One thing she said, you know your body better than I do. So I want to create a relationship with you such that you can be in charge as well. We can partner in your healthcare. That blew my mind. After meeting with Dr. Brogdon, I didn't realize what I was missing until she asked me questions and went a little bit deeper on the emotional side. Oftentimes in my community, we just go. We deal with things. By her taking the time to tap into that, because she culturally we connected. Finding that, I'm going to tell you, I was elated.
Many of my patients have been judged based on the size of their body, based on uncontrolled mental health, based on the color of their skin and not provided culturally competent care. And I really take a lot of pride in creating a safe space for all patients. I think one of our greatest needs on the level of hierarchy of needs is to be seen beyond our chronic conditions. Listen to them, give people the feeling that they've made the right decision to come seek care here, because they have. When patients come here from the first visit and beyond, that I can guarantee that they will be heard.
It felt good because as we're going down 75 and 71 and we say, be seen, be heard, be healed, this was an example of how you can lead to healing by taking the time to understand.